How many more epic fails can DC Films take? Why are they tanking? Can DC fix this mess? All this and more on today's episode of... All right, gather round, folks, because we're about to dive into the tragic comedy that is the DC Extended Universe. Now, I don't know about you, but I've seen less drama in a high school production of Cats than in this cinematic universe. Every movie has a director's cut that fans prefer, and the tone and connectivity are as inconsistent as your complexion in high school. The writing is about as good as high school fan fiction on Tumblr. It's like they're playing musical chairs with the directors, and the music never stops. Now, let's talk about the recent box office flops. Oh boy, where do we start? It's like a parade of disappointment and missed opportunities. First up, we have Black Adam with a budget of $260 million and a profit goal of $520 million. It seemed like a surefire hit. After all, it had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the greatest hype man of all time, in the leading role. I love The Rock. But this movie sucked, and alas, it only grossed $393 million, falling short of its goal by a whopping $126 million. It's like they forgot to make a competent movie around the cameo appearance of Henry Cavill's Superman, and a totally lame one at that. It's like ordering a steak and getting a plate of that so-called shaved beef from Arby's. Next up, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. With a budget of $125 million and a profit goal of $250 million, it seemed like a safe bet. Some people really liked this movie. I personally find the star insufferable and hate the whole Shazam intellectual property as a whole. And I guess everybody else agrees with me. It only grossed $133 million, falling short of its goal by $116 million. It's like they were so focused on the established pieces of the DC Extended Universe that they forgot to make a movie people actually wanted to see. It's like planning a surprise party and forgetting to invite the guests. And then there's The Flash. With a budget of $220 million and a profit goal of $440 million, it seemed like a slam dunk. But as of this video's recording has grossed $210 million, falling short of its profit goal by God knows how much. Probably going to be one of the biggest flops of the past decade. It's like they threw everything at the wall and nothing stuck. They had two versions of Batman, including the return of Michael Keaton, Superman of every generation, even Nicolas Cage with a mullet, and they still couldn't pull it off. It's like baking a cake with all the finest ingredients and forgetting to turn on the oven. So, what's next for DC Studios? Well, with Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2 inches on the horizon, they're in a bit of a pickle. If they release the movies and they flop, they stand to lose a lot of money. But if they don't release them, they stand to lose even more. It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Except the rock is made of kryptonite, and the hard place is a vat of Joker's laughing gas. So where the hell does this leave us? The DC Extended Universe is like a roller coaster that's all drops and no rises. It's a wild ride, but not in a good way. But hey, at least it gives us something to talk about, right? It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You know it's going to be bad, but you just can't look away. So here's to the DC Extended Universe. If your films can't entertain us, may your catastrophic creative and economic failures continue to be a source of great amusement and bewilderment for us all.